American Society of Muslims announced his resignation Sunday after more than 3 decades. Imam W.D. Muhammad talks about Islamic life in America.
I don't know about you, but when I told the imams of my resignation yesterday, a big burden went off my back. But when I told the imams of my resignation yesterday, a big burden went off my back. I don't know about you, but when I told the imams of my resignation yesterday, a big burden went off my back.
And if we was to say nothing else, if there was nothing else that we could say, please, brothers and sisters, but brothers, let us come to the staunch reality that we don't have to be regimented to an extent that our leader, who was laboring and has labored for over 30 years, have to say, sit in that chair, or go to the bathroom, or clean your house, or don't clean your house, or open a masjid, or don't open a masjid, or go where you want to go. No, brothers, we can't be regimented to that extent. We have to grow and be free thinking, independent thinking, but having as the concern our community progress and development. Community progress. That's what we have to have in our minds. Accepting responsibilities for our communities, for our families, for our schools, for our life. For laboring and has labored for over 30 years. Have to say, sit in that chair, or go to the bathroom, or clean your house, or don't clean your house, or open a masjid, or don't open a masjid, or go where you want to go. No, brothers, we can't be regimented to that extent. We have to grow and be free thinking, independent thinking, but having as the concern our community progress and development. Community progress. That's what we have to have in our minds. Accepting responsibilities for our communities, for our families, for our schools, for our life. That's what we have to do. That's what we have to do. You will be in a situation, I will be in a situation. Imam Muhammad, as we know, is working so hard. But I'm not saying anything most of us have heard at some point or another. We don't need a crutch. He doesn't want us to have a crutch. We had a crutch before. We used to blame the white man for all of our shortcomings. We used to blame him for all of our lack of progress. We used to blame him for all of our shortcomings. But when he became the leader, he said, I'm going to kick that crutch from under you and make you stand up like men and women. When he became the leader, he said, I wasn't looking for men and women. I was looking for empty vessels to put men and women into. So we need to accept to be men and women. Learn our religion. Know what needs to be done. And step forward. And don't be afraid. Do not be afraid. Fear God. We say we believe in God. We say there's no God but God. But we act like we fear men. We act like we fear circumstances. We act like we fear armies and weapons. But if we fear God, who controls all things, who brings things into existence and take it out of existence, if we only fear God, no matter what the circumstances are, if we only fear God, that will move us forward.
Muslims announced his resignation Sunday after more than 3 decades. Imam W.D. Muhammad.
I don't know about you, but when I told the imams of my resignation yesterday, a big burden went off my back. But when I told the imams of my resignation yesterday, a big burden went off my back.
From the pain, our community is pain with labor, pain. And we're laboring to produce something. You have to feel that we think something got to give, man. This can't keep going like this. We don't have that. We're not doing anything. Something got to give. That's because
resignation yesterday, a big burden went off my back.
Now, dear believers, so in conclusion, I want to say to you all that I met Imam Muhammad when I was in my 20s in August 1987 in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, on our property we call Medina. I used to write him letters on little yellow sheets of paper when I was young, seeking advice about a subject that I became interested in from my experience in the Nation of Islam. When I finally had a chance to meet him, our spirits connected, and it has been that way for 17 years. And I don't intend to let anyone break that connection.
Alhamdulillah. I'm hoping that even in this picture it's showing us saying to the Imam in body language and in words, hoping to have helped remove the burden and help with some of the work by carrying some of the work and help remove some of the burden off his back and being there for him as a law supporter and assuring him that we had his back. He could count on us and he can trust us, as was being expressed here. I remember that when we were leaving from the Trenton area. I'm saying, Brother Imam, I just want to let you know, not only do we love you, but you can count on us to have your back and to be true, honest supporters of you. And as Allah say, did not we remove from you your burden? And as the Imam, you heard him say when he resigned, it took a burden off his back. And the only way you really get the burden when you're a leader is if you have good, loyal people to help pick up responsibility and to be able to be reliable and counted on. That helps a whole lot. And I can say that as an Imam in no way compared to the responsibility that the Imam had. And I think other people who have leadership role, what helps a burden is when you have other people you can count on. So alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen. And letting someone know that you can count on them and that is in fact the truth, that they know they can count on you, means a lot and lifts a lot off someone's back or what they have to do when they know they can count on them. So I'll close this with a little clip of that. Know that you can count on me, and he knew he can count on me. Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen. Let's keep our trust and faith in Allah always. Well, alhamdulillah, today, December 21st, 2023, represents 20 years, exactly 20 years, when you can see here, December 21st, 2003 was on a Sunday. So, in celebrating that also, alhamdulillah, 20 years when we stepped forward, and it's 20 years when the Imam, he had that burden off of him, as he said, in end of August. But for me stepping forward, and just in terms of just looking at this here, that today, December 21st, 2023, is 20 years. Wow, 20 years. So alhamdulillah, I thank Allah for all that he has done for me and continue to do for us as a community. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. And I hope and pray that I was able to help take some of the burden off of our courageous leader, beautiful leader, Imam Muhammad, and also do positive works over the 20 years and more. So today marked 20 years, December 21st, 2023, and this was, and we gave the talk. I just won't, you can go look that back up. I don't want to put the whole speech in for this time, but alhamdulillah, love you, brothers and sisters. And it's good just to document and preserve our history, and things you may not think is significant still video, record it, document it, because even if it doesn't appear significant now, it will inshallah be significant in the future.
Of the author of the book, and I hope you have some of the books available. The book is a very worthwhile contribution here. And Mr. El-Amin. He prints all his books, and he has learned the language of the Nation of Islam and my language, and he's written on the two, the Nation of Islam and so I think he'd be a good person to have here. A language sensitive person for the dawah. Mr. El-Amin. And Mr. El-Amin. And he has learned the language of the Nation of Islam and my language, and he's written on the two, the Nation of Islam and so I think he'd be a good person to have here. A language sensitive person for the dawah. And he has learned the language of the Nation of Islam and my language, and he's written on the two, the Nation of Islam and so I think he'd be a good person to have. He prints all his books, and he has learned the language of the Nation of Islam and my language, and he's written on the two, the Nation of Islam and so I think he'd be a good person to have here. A language sensitive person for the dawah. And he has learned the language of the Nation of Islam and my language, and he's written on the two, the Nation of Islam and so I think he'd be a good person to have here. A language sensitive person for the dawah. Islam. From actually, he was from the Nation of Islam. He was a young man in the Nation of Islam, a teenager, in fact. I believe that he was only about maybe 18 or 19 when the leader of the Nation of Islam passed in 1975. That was my father, Elijah Muhammad. He wrote a book recently on the difference between the Nation of Islam and Islam. His name is Mustafa El-Amin. Mustafa El-Amin. I wish we had that book here. I would just give it to you. It would save me a lot of time, and you a lot of time. Some of you have studied it, just like a few of you perhaps, just like Imam Mustafa El-Amin, the author. Mysterious culture. They played on mystery, the power of mystery, the power of the unknown. Some of you have studied it, just like a few of you perhaps, just like Imam Mustafa El-Amin, the author of the Nation of Islam and Islam, that so clearly showed us the difference between the Nation of Islam and the real religion of Islam with that book. I recommend it to anybody that didn't read it. If you have any questions about what was back then and what is real, what is Islam, you should read that book. It will help you out a lot. Yes. So when you go there to Egypt and see its monuments, see how it looked back then. See, now you go and see those relics, you know, like you're looking at the prehistoric age, something from the prehistoric age or something, you know. But it wasn't prehistory, it was Egyptian history.
Alhamdulillah, I just played that because that in the 90s, and even now really, but the Imam really appreciated that book, that also helped lift a burden off of him, putting that in writing, helping people to see the difference between the religion of Islam and the Nation of Islam. What is the difference, especially at that time, you know? And Imam appreciated the book, and he took it many places, and it was a big help for him and the community. And Like you say, when he was speaking at Princeton, it saved him a lot of trouble if he had that book with him. And so that's what my focus is really, even though it seems to go off a little bit from this picture here. But the whole ideal is helping to lift the burden, to carry some of the weight, helping to lift some of the burden off of the imam in his job, as any leader would need some help. And so, alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen. And that's what I'm hoping this picture here, as I remember what was going on and what was said, is, Brother Imam, we're with you, we're loyal to you, and we're helping you, and we can to carry the burden of your responsibility of leadership, that we're there for you. I remember that as we were leaving the Trenton area, and I just want to say this to you as we shook hands. Pledge more support. And so the whole idea is to keep the work going. As I say, new leadership and just responsibility and commitment to the community. And I pray Allah will continue to guide our community and bless our community and increase us in knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and faith. Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen. Assalamu alaikum.
Of my resignation yesterday, a big burden went off my back. I don't know about you, but when I told the imams of my resignation yesterday, a big burden went off my back. But when I told the imams of my resignation yesterday, a big burden went off my back.